everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a special guest all the way out in Slovakia working on an amazing project called altFINS that's going to help you in so many different ways. And he's going to help explain how, especially as it relates to trading. We have Richard. How are you doing today? An amazing name, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard, for having me on as well.
Of course, man. Well, before we dive too deep into this, first I want to learn a little bit more about you. Give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Right. In a nutshell, I spent about 14 years on traditional finance at Wall Street. I worked in New York City as an equity research analyst. So basically, I worked for brokerage and investment banks, analyzing technology companies and writing research reports and recommendations that were then used by our clients. And our clients were hedge funds, pension funds, mutual funds, family offices. And that these research reports would basically help them construct their own portfolios and pick and select the technology companies that they wanted to have in their portfolios. So these were our clients. And I did that for several different sort of mid-tier investment banks in my career. And then last of 7 careers outside of crypto, I spent running a family office for an ultra high net worth individual here in Slovakia. I helped him kind of diversify his portfolio because he made his money in commercial real estate, but wanted to diversify outside of that. And so he was setting aside some money to invest into stocks, publicly traded companies worldwide. And so I helped him kind of manage that process and put together a portfolio that would encompass sort of the companies that ride some secular trends in digitalization, in e-commerce, and things like that. And then so that was the last 7 of my traditional finance career, let's say, and then I went down that crypto rabbit hole.
So let's spend some time on that. So you have a ton of experience just in the traditional trading world, and it's very fitting that you're now working on a crypto trading platform and providing some unique tools to help your everyday retail trader. But before getting into that, how did you first learn about crypto, and what made you decide to go and dive into the space?
Sure. Yeah. So I caught the bug in 2017, as many of us maybe did, during the ICO craze. Shortly before that, I certainly started noticing the discussions and the trends around Bitcoin, particularly, obviously, in the beginning. And then the whole ICO bubble exploded. And at first, I was very skeptical, of course. And then I started dabbling in trading some of the early cryptocurrencies. The list was a lot shorter than it is today. And quickly, I basically realized that there's a lack of tools in this emerging digital asset class, a lack of robust tools that I was used to using as an analyst in the traditional finance world. And those tools, allow me to track the digital assets, but also do certain kinds of analyses, trend analyses, momentum analyses, that helped me basically trade these digital assets, and because the world of crypto assets are so fragmented in terms of where they trade on various exchanges, and also the information that you need to collect about these projects behind the cryptocurrencies, news and so on. This fragmentation, it just created a big problem for me, just personally trying to trade these things. That I decided that I needed to just build a tool initially, for myself, and then really for anyone in my shoes as well. And it turns out there's millions of retail traders that struggle with that as well. And so that's what we, with a group of developers, set out to do in 2018, and basically create a tool that helps us again stay on top of the crypto trading and crypto sort of pricing and analytics to help us determine and make some decisions about what should I be buying or selling today. And that's kind of the frustration that I had, is that there's a lot of tools, a lot of applications, and service providers that really focus on just the execution, right? There's exchanges, there's apps that allow you to buy and sell crypto. Maybe they have a great liquidity, maybe they have a really cool user interface, easy one. Maybe they have low commissions, but that's all great. But I struggled with, okay, but what should I be buying? Which asset is trending up or down? Which one is in momentum? Which is gaining momentum, losing momentum? Can I create, what tools can I use to create a strategy or some kind of a framework around my investment decisions? And so the pre-trade analysis is where AltFINS is really focused on. It's not the execution of the trade. Let's call it easy, but it's really the pre-trade analysis where we try to add a lot more value with the tools that we've created.
So let me go back in and analyze some of that. So you get back into crypto around 2017, you realize there's not a lot of tools that kind of prepare you to get more information before you even get into a trade. And so you start to work with a couple of developers, figuring out some algorithms, other types of tools and indicators that you could use to determine when were good times to potentially get into a trade and whatnot. And honestly, from a timing standpoint, if you got in 2017, that means you also probably got in the top around 2018, and then you got into the nice bear market that we're in for roughly 2 years, and now I've been in this nice bullish cycle. So I think true traders are made during bearish times, and things get a little bit easier during bullish times, but all the same, to be able to create a tool and refine a tool that helps you find still ways to make money during that bearish time. Can you talk to that? Like, what were y'all ultimately able to help create that has been able to help traders who are on your platform?
Yeah, I have to say, in the first 2 years, as you mentioned, during the crypto winter, sometimes I questioned myself: was I crazy to leave the cushy, finance world and get into this? But I had always had this urge to create something, sort of tangible, if you will, even though this is all, cloud-based software that you can't necessarily touch. But yeah, I mean, the platform allows traders, of course, things a lot easier in the bull market, and tough in the bear market. But with this tool, traders, and what we try to also teach, and we're launching an education class on that, but we try to create or give the traders the tools to detect the trend, because the trend is sort of the most important one. If you kind of correctly identify the trend, you're sort of 50% there, and then a few other things can also increase that probability of success. And so our tool actually has an automated trend rating system on the short-term, medium, and long-term basis, and that helps you sort of determine, okay, is this coin in an uptrend? Is it in a strong uptrend, or is it a lukish, warm, medium trend uptrend, or is it going sideways, or is it going down, right? And so just based on that trend alone, traders can narrow down thousands of the digital assets to those that are trending up if you want to go long, or if they're trending down and you're a little more advanced, then you can actually short them as well and make money on the short side. And if we also try to advise and teach clients how to kind of have a bit of a balanced portfolio, some longs where you have big bets, but also some shorts on the coins that are exhibiting a downtrend and a bearish momentum. And so that's what the tool allows you to do is if there is a bear market, I mean, there's first of all always coins, as we say, there's always a bull market somewhere. So there's always coins that are going up. And so searching through the thousands of digital assets with our tool allows you to find that, the few coins that are still going up no matter what happened to the market at the moment. But even when there is a bear market, you can then use this tool to find those coins that perhaps you should be shorting, or perhaps those coins that we also detect patterns. So certain patterns, like recently we had a lot of falling wedge patterns that were broken up bullishly, and those tend to be reversal patterns as well. So those are also potential signals for traders to find coins that perhaps could be turning around their downtrend. And so there's a myriad of different tools, but of course, at the end of the day, it is up to the user. So we're not necessarily signal providers like, hey, you got to buy here, you got to sell here. It's still just a tool that the user has to learn how to use and use some of their own knowledge and also we have a very extensive knowledge base that helps you basically work up your knowledge as well on how to use these indicators and tools to improve your trading hit rate and success rate.
That's awesome. And something else that I think is really important that I want to bring up for a second is the importance of education. So a lot of people entering the crypto space, I would say, are investors, not traders, and they think they are traders and they get wrecked. But if you are trying to become a trader, you need to be able to have resources and tools that can help you succeed. And it sounds like altFINS would be a great option to do that. So for the person who's an investor who's looking to become a trader, how would they be able to come on altFINS and start utilizing some of the different tools that you have?
Sure. Yeah, and you made a great point about the importance of the education. And then honestly, even we underestimated it and just recently have announced the launch of the education program because we do realize that there's a lot of novice individuals trading or investing in cryptocurrencies, and they are eager and interested in boosting their knowledge base, and we're happy to help them with that. So the platform is a freemium business model in that there's a lot of content, features where really a user can come to the platform and register for free and already has access to all the tools and all the features with limited amount of content, but enough to get familiar with it and start using it honestly from day one for trading and investing. And then if they feel like they're ready to take it to the next level, have more more search results for the screener that we have and other things, then they can purchase one of the subscription plans that we have as well. But again, I think I encourage everyone to create a free. There's no catch. There's a free registered account and start using it from day one. And I think they'll make a determination if this is something for them, because trading isn't for everyone, to be honest. And so you kind of gotta get a good feel for what you're getting into before subscribing. But I think you'll find a pretty robust set of tools and content and knowledge base to help you along the way, along the journey.
No, that's great. And I think it is important to be able to test something before you fully go in and to realize if the trading life is for you, because it is very much a all-encompassing, especially with crypto, with the things always going on. It never turns off. And so you have to kind of be on, and you have to really have a want to constantly be on to do that. And so it's cool that you have a way to ramp on, try out some of the tools, and then be able to scale in and start using more of that. So another thing that I kind of just want to bring up for a moment is for people who are looking to start trading, what are some of the tips that you can give and get them in the right direction before they wreck themselves, before they even start?
Yeah. So first of all, I'll mention that our platform is not necessarily targeted at day traders per se, but more of individuals who are looking to trade with a little longer time horizons, okay? Because there's various different trading styles, right? And day trading is like you're really in and out of trades within one single day. That's not what we've built here, but really trades and investments that can last days or even weeks is the time horizon. And I think that that's really more appropriate for a person who has a full-time job and wants to also on the side trade some cryptocurrencies. He's not a full-time trader. Having said that, the tips certainly start with small positions, many small positions. Don't bet the barn on one coin because you see an interesting trend or you've heard something from a friend, right? You really gotta spread out your bets, because trading is probabilistic, meaning even with the best set of indicators and tools, let's just say you can reach maybe 70% hit rate, right? 70% of your trades will go in your favor. That means that you still have 30% that will go against you. And so you really, to achieve these statistics, you really need to do tens or even hundreds of trades so that the statistics, the success rate of 70% will play out. Because if you only do 10 big trades, the statistics don't really work. You really need a lot of small trades, right? So, and you shouldn't ever bet more than about 2% of your portfolio, or you shouldn't be in a position where one position will lose more than 2% of the portfolio. It's kind of the cardinal rule. So that really means that you need tens of different positions, and so you need some consistency there. Stick to those sort of trading strategy rules that you've created. Always trade with a trend, especially for novice traders. I mean, some advanced traders can kind of do some swing trader trading against the trend, just trying to squeeze out that little switch or change in momentum. But for novice or even intermediate traders, it's really advised to go with the trend. So if the coin is trending up, it's okay to buy it. If the trend is trending down, don't be buying it, even on some momentum swings. And then the risk management that I mentioned in terms of the position sizing, in terms of just the mental toughness as well. You're gonna have losers, and you want to set the stop losses some reasonable distance, and that's a little bit of a art and science in where do you take your loss. You don't want to take it too early, because you got to give your positions and your bets some space to in this volatile asset class, some space to go against you, and have time to maybe work in your favor. But then you got to sort of cut your losses. So you got to be able to sort of set your stop loss at a reasonable place, and that's something that we also teach in the class. So those are the things, is the trade size, do a lot of small trades, trade with the trend, use stop losses, and when you use small trades, it's also psychologically better, right? Because when you make big bets, you can easily get all worked up about a one that's not going in your direction. But you've got 10 or really more than 20, 30, then one or two going against you, it's not gonna make you question your strategy.
Right. I think you have a lot of good nuggets in there. I think diversification is a good one. The 2% rule, I think, is awesome as well. And even the concept of, as you initially get in this, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose some money, and like that is okay. It comes with learning, but you learn from that, and you learn to, once you develop a strategy and you develop a rule set for yourself, you learn that usually once you go against your own set of rules, that typically doesn't work out well for you. So you just start learning yourself. You start getting used to when things are either looking bad or when they're looking good, when to take profit, when to stop your losses, and to have a lot of that set up. So you're not, again, constantly stressed and constantly like thinking, what's going on with my portfolio, right? Because that's a very easy trap to get caught up into. And I'm sure a lot of crypto OGs listening to this right now definitely understands that sentiment and what that feels like. So I definitely appreciate that. And, I know you have a pretty big announcement that's coming out for Alfins. I believe you have something that's about to drop. So you want to share that?
Yeah, we are actually launching our own token in October, November timeframe. And it's really intended to be built as a reward program for the existing users, and for using the platform, for learning how to use the platform, as well as promoting it and enhancing it. There's going to be opportunities for our users to contribute to the platform in form of content, in form of analyses, and sharing their custom filters that they may create, and so on. So we want to sort of reward the community for all these activities, and also there's going to be for the token holders access and availability of deeper discounts on the subscriptions as well. So if you stake the token, you'll be able to also get access to our platform at a much cheaper price as well. So it is all intended to basically grow our community, grow our user base, which should in turn add and create more utility of that platform itself, which should then again benefit the user base as well. So it's a bit of a flywheel effect that we think we can jumpstart with the token. And so, keep an eye on the announcements. You can come to our website and subscribe for additional sort of token sale details that we might be announcing as we go along.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that. And for everyone listening, make sure you go check that out. But I tell you what, Rich, as we wrap up here, again, you've given us a lot of information, but I always like to wrap up with 2 fun questions. The first is, with all the information you have right now, if you can impart 1 to 2 pieces of wisdom when you first got started in the space, what would you tell yourself?
I would certainly avoid, FOMOing into coins, that are ripping and everyone's talking about. It's okay, but you know what? Buy a small piece. So you're in there with that conversation, but don't bet the farm. Don't bet the farm on anything. No matter how high of a conviction you have, you got to stick to that size of because you just really honestly you don't know when that particular project may get hacked or whatnot, and the token price will get slashed. So don't. So that's the one piece of advice that I learned really in my career all along, but certainly in the crypto world. I get excited about a project, and I think, well, I should allocate more of my portfolio to that because of a higher conviction. But then I lose sleep over it. It's just like, okay, it's not worth it. So it's just stick to that diversified portfolio, as you mentioned. Don't FOMO into it. It's okay to buy it, but buy it in a small portion. And I think that's the most critical piece of advice is the risk management, diversification. Start small. Start with the money that you don't sweat about, even if you lose all of it per se.
Yeah. So again, 2 really good lessons. Don't FOMO in, and if you do, don't bet the farm. Put a little bit in just so you can say you're involved. And the second is to diversify. Diversify. That's going to be the word of the day, diversification. So, Richard, as we wrap up here, what is a final thought that you want to leave with all the listeners here today?
Just the fact that you're listening to this podcast shows you that you are way ahead of the game. So congrats on that. Keep learning. And allocate a portion of your personal wealth to this digital asset class. Again, don't bet the farm. You gotta have your investment in the house you own, some stocks and whatnot. But I think that up to 5-10% of your personal wealth being in digital asset class is wise, and do it the way you feel comfortable. So if you don't have the time to be trading and paying attention to the positions, then just hold a few, major ones, or not few. Let's pick 10, 20 and hold them. And if you feel like you can add more value and performance to your portfolio, then certainly dig in and check out Alfins, because I think we can help you with that.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that final thought. What are ways that people can connect with you and learn more about Alfins?
Happy to answer questions. We have a chat line right on our website, as well as the platform itself. And you can also drop us an email at invest@altfins.com. Happy to answer those questions. We also have a Telegram channel, so check us out on Telegram under altFINS. And I think that's and Twitter as well.
Awesome. Well, again, Richard, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.